The government will shell out more than $1 billion on new Super Hercules aircraft as part of its $20 billion defence capability plan revealed today. The plan lays out when new military hardware, including satellite surveillance systems, will be purchased and how much it will cost. It also includes personnel, with moves to boost troop numbers by 6,000 by 2035 so that the Army can respond to multiple incidents at once. Michael Kropp has the details.
Setting itself up as a force for the future with $20 billion of upgrades planned by 2030.
We have accepted a responsibility to support smaller Pacific Island nations who do not have the capacity to respond to these disasters which befall them. And to do that, we have to have the capability.
Defence Minister Ron Mark says much of this plan is driven by climate change and the effect it will have on our corner of the South Pacific.
Over time, there will be an increased requirement for our defence and other security forces to respond with humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, more search and rescue missions, and potentially stability operations.
A warming world with acidifying and rising seas may see low-lying Pacific Island countries disappear and contribute to resource scarcity.
There will be increased competition as people run into conflict with potentially run into conflict with each other as to who has the right to fish those stocks.
Those foreseen problems, plus geopolitical tensions in our backyard, are reflected in today's major upgrade announcements. For watching the high seas, plans for non-weaponised space-based surveillance and communication systems, and drones.
We have a search and area responsibility that takes us all the way up to the Kiribati. Bear in mind that we're looking at establishing, inshallah, a marine reserve in the Kermadec. All of these things mean nothing if one cannot provide surveillance over that.
And to assist in humanitarian disasters, a second ship similar to HMNZS Canterbury.
This vessel will be able to move more vital stores and personnel with greater ability to operate in adverse conditions than is currently available to Canterbury. And I emphasise that climate change will require that.
There are also plans for a polar-ready Southern Ocean patrol vessel and new maritime helicopters in the mid to late 2020s for ground forces, armoured troop carriers and combat vehicles, and increasing the number of soldiers to 6,000 by 2035. The Chief of Defence, Air Marshal Kevin Short, says the investments are balanced across the three services, Army, Navy and Air Force, and he'll be glad to see the tail of the current Hercules for the last time.
While most of New Zealand sees them working really well, they're costing tens of millions of dollars each year, more than we can expect with a new fleet.
Which is why that big-ticket item, the Super Hercules, is at the top of the list, pegged to arrive in 2023. The Hercs are a workhorse, doing a bit of everything from paratrooper and humanitarian aid drops to ferrying scientists to Antarctica. The Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, says the current ones are unreliable and no longer up to the task.
Our Hercules do our most basic of jobs. They get aid and they get some of our natural disaster responses around the country and around the Pacific. Without it, we just couldn't look after ourselves and our neighbours.
But National's Defence spokesperson Mark Mitchell says it's worrying the Hercules isn't going out to tender.
We should have competitive tension in any of those procurements that we're doing. That's the best way of delivering the best result for the taxpayer and for us as a country.
But Ron Mark says we're being offered the best price and competing aircraft aren't yet proven in the skies. He says the government will be careful though, and detailed business cases will be required for each of the major upgrades. For Checkpoint, Michael Kropp there, Nay.